Buddy Hield Indo-Para Utah Jazz. Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Buddy Hield arrived at the Warriors and performed well, but his production gradually declined, and after the arrival of Jimmy Butler, in theory Hield should have grown and scored more points. Unfortunately, Buddy Hield has been disappointing in some games and the Warriors will trade him next summer. Hield is a great three-point shooter and therefore has value in the NBA and could facilitate a trade for a big man, and Walker Kessler from the Utah Jazz is the player the Warriors want to sign for next season. The Warriors could get rid of Buddy Hield and send him to the Utah Jazz in exchange for a big man. The Golden State Warriors roster is expected to undergo changes in the offseason. While the organization's specific free agency plans are unclear, Bleacher Report's Dan Favale predicts that the Dubs will part ways with a three-point sniper who is shooting 37% from long range this season. Buddy Hield is hardly having a banner year, but his $9.2 million price point remains easier to relocate, Favale wrote last Thursday. During the first 2 months of Hield's 2024-25 campaign, the Oklahoma product was nearly automatic from three. After connecting on 50% of his triples in October, Hield shot 41.4% from downtown in November, causing many to conclude that the former Philadelphia 76ers guard could replace Klay Thompson in the Bay. However, Hield struggled immensely with his perimeter shooting the following 2 months, shooting 30.5% from deep in December and 31.5% in January. The 32-year-old veteran has been more productive from beyond the arc lately, boasting a 37.7% three-point shooting percentage in February and a 37.1% three-point shooting percentage in March. Still, with the Warriors moving on from Thompson last offseason and acquiring Hield to serve as Stephen Curry's new splash brother, the 2020 three-point contest champion's production from long range hasn't been ideal in year 9. With more dependable sharpshooting threats, such as Cameron Johnson and Michael Porter Jr., potentially being available on the market during the summer, the Warriors may consider cutting ties with Hield once free agency begins. It's safe to say Hield is running out of time to prove his worth in Golden State alongside Curry. Warriors youth are flashing a key skill that bodes well for a Curry-less future. The Warriors' young core is showing that they can pick up the three-point shooting slack once Stephen Curry is gone. The Golden State Warriors are mixing timelines once again. They are led by the three-headed veteran monster of Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green, but are supported by a mix of young and up-and-coming players. Right now, the mix is working. The Warriors have been on fire since adding Butler to the mix, and they could be a real threat in this year's playoffs. One reason for this has been that some of the Warriors' young supporting players have found their stroke from three. Although Golden State are certainly focused on the present, the ability of Brandon Podziemski, Quinton Post and Moses Moody to shoot the three ball could make an eventual Curry retirement less daunting. The Warriors' youth can shoot. Right now it looks like the Warriors' future core is going to be made of Jonathan Kuminga, Podziemski, Moody and Post. Sure, this doesn't sound like a championship core, but all of those players are young and have plenty of potential. Pods, Moody, and Post have specifically shown recently that they can be elite three-point shooters. Post is already one of the best three-point shooters in his rookie class and on this Golden State team. On a roster that has the greatest shooter of all time, Post leading the way in three-point percentage at 44% is extremely impressive. Moody has also shown himself to be a solid three-point shooter. He sits behind Curry on the Warriors' three-point shooting percentage list at 38.3%. This is a solid improvement on his near 36% percentage for the first 3 seasons of his career. Podziemski might not be at the three-point percentage of either Post or Moody, but he has flashed more potential to create shots for himself off the dribble. The second-year guard is only shooting 34% from three this season, down from his stellar 38.5% as a rookie, but after starting the season shooting incredibly poorly, Podziemski is now shooting 37.7% from deep since January 1st. Golden State fans certainly don't want to think about it yet, but eventually Curry will leave the NBA court for the final time. When he does, the Warriors will lose the greatest three-point shooter the game has even seen. This is why it's so important for Podziemski, Moody, and Post to continue developing into high-level three-point shooters. Not only is their shooting helping the Warriors contend in the present, but it also may be the reason the Warriors stay elite from beyond the arc once Curry retires. Warriors star is officially shock favorite to claim major NBA award. Draymond Green's DPOY case is starting to grow. Golden State Warriors fans need some good news. After losing back-to-back games in ugly fashion, they are now tied in the loss column with the Los Angeles Clippers and barely holding on to the 6th seed in the Western Conference playoff race. So, let's forget about all of that for a moment and give some credit where credit is due. Draymond Green has been an absolute menace on defense this season. Warriors fans are well aware that he is among the best defenders in the league and greatest defenders of all time, but the award voters have often failed to agree. Especially when it comes to the Defensive Player of the Year award. Now the veteran forward's DPOY case is officially being recognized as he has become the odds-on favorite to win the award. Draymond Green is officially the favorite for DPOY. Green should be in the DPOY discussion every year. He usually is, but he only has one award to show for it after a decade of defensive excellence. This season, the conversation has started late as Golden State have turned things over the past 2 months. Over the last few games and really since the All-Star break, Draymond has turned things up a notch on the defensive end. His newfound intensity has been obvious since the addition of Jimmy Butler, and it has been paying dividends for the Dubs. Since the All-Star break, the Warriors have the best defense in the NBA, which has also coincided with the best record in the NBA over that span. This shift has also correlated with Draymond's ascension into the DPOY conversation. The conversation really ramped up after an incredible performance locking up Giannis Antetokounmpo in the Warriors' recent win over the Bucks. Only a week ago it was looking like Draymond would grab another All-NBA defense selection, but maybe fall short of a second DPOY award. Polymarket had Draymond's DPOY chances at less than 10%. Now according to Fox Sports, Draymond is the favorite to win the award at -140. It is time voters finally realized how they snubbed Draymond for all of those years of second-place DPOY finishes. With the narrative shifting and the Warriors placing themselves into relevance in the Western Conference, Green has a great opportunity to win another Defensive Player of the Year award. The chance at winning the award could be exactly the motivation he needs to help carry this team back into title contention. Warriors' simplest solution to avoid spiraling at worst time. Miami, the quickest solution to make sure the Warriors don't spiral and fall to the NBA play-in tournament is obvious: have a healthy Steph Curry. That always has been the case, even in the past with Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, and any other star, and it remains the same with the addition of Jimmy Butler. "We definitely need 30 back," Butler said Tuesday night. "But we want him to be right. We're still expected to win. We got to put out a better effort than we have the last 2 games. If he's back, I think it'll be different." Golden State dropped its second straight game without Curry as he recovers from a pelvic contusion after taking a hard fall Saturday in the Warriors' win against the Toronto Raptors. He's considered day-to-day and is expected to play Friday in New Orleans against the Pelicans, barring any setbacks. The Warriors are playing a tough balancing act, knowing how badly they need Curry in a heated battle to remain as at least the number 6 seed in the Western Conference. Conversely, knowing him being as close to full strength as possible for a playoff push is their only chance at making a real run at title contention. With or without him, there are glaring deficiencies that must be resolved immediately. Butler's addition has made the Warriors a much better fourth-quarter team, giving them a closer they can rely on to shut the door alongside Curry. The start of games remains an issue, as seen in the Warriors' last 2 losses. To start a 6-game road trip, the Warriors looked like a team that traveled across the country and had to wipe off cobwebs, allowing 40 points to the Atlanta Hawks in the first quarter. Any motivation to play for Butler wasn't enough medication to beat the South Beach flu, falling into a 17-point halftime deficit to the Miami Heat on Tuesday night. What needs to change couldn't be more clear to Butler after having his first losing streak since joining the Warriors. "Probably the effort coming out of the jump," Butler said. "We've got to guard a little better. Seems like as of late everyone's been scoring at will at the rim, in the mid, at the three, getting to the free throw line. We've gotten away from what got us a couple of wins. Over and over again, the Warriors have emphasized how every team gives them their best effort. These are still the Beatles. Fans still flock in droves, and teams still froth at taking down the Warriors with the national spotlight on them. Yet the light switch still feels stuck at tip-off. The Hawks and Heat, two teams with losing records to start this ever-important road trip, combined to shoot 56.4% from the field, 92 of 163, and 52.5% from three, 32 of 61. Role players like Alec Burks, 17 points, and Georges Niang, 23 points, went off against the Warriors, especially from behind the three-point line. Miami made 17 of its 25 three-point attempts for a 68% clip, the highest the Warriors have allowed in a game since 2018. Those are numbers and performances Draymond Green takes personally. "Get myself charged," Green said in response to how the Warriors can be better defensively at the beginning of games. "Get myself charged, and lead by example as well. When I get myself charged up, everybody else will follow in line." The conclusion of the road trip takes the Warriors to Memphis to play the Grizzlies, and then they're off to Los Angeles for their final regular season matchup with the Lakers before having to play the Denver Nuggets back at home on the second night of a back-to-back. In between, the Warriors still have games against the Pelicans and San Antonio Spurs. The first 4 games on the road were supposed to be the ones to take advantage of. They weren't. A 4-2 road trip felt like a reasonable goal. Now 3-3 has to be a reasonable target that won't be easy to reach. The easiest way to do so is by locking in defensively and not allowing the opposition to get comfortable from the jump. With 10 regular season games remaining, the Warriors now are 12-23 when trailing after the first quarter and 13-26 when facing a halftime deficit. They're 27-4 when leading after the first quarter, as well as when they have a halftime lead. Curry's addition always collectively has the Warriors wearing Calvin Cambridge's shoes. A wake-up call is in order either way, and the Warriors will have to prove what these 2 losses meant to them to get back on the right track with so much at stake. "Come out and play well," Green says. "Lost 2 in a row, you don't want it to spiral. It's the wrong time to really let something spiral. Come out, take care of this, get this road trip moving in the right direction. We're 0-2 to start this trip. We need to make sure we right the ship."